The Nether is by far the hardest dimension to do anything, really, so today I'm gonna blow up a massive hole to make way for a giant Nether-themed castle that houses one of the fastest blaze farms to ever exist. Taking over 200 hours, I only lost my sanity twice. So you wanna hear how I did it? Well, I don't care, I'ma tell you anyway. The first thing any Nether perimeter needs is access to the Nether roof. Because my build's hidden under a layer of bedrock, nobody will actually be able to see it. And in order for this to look as good as possible, I'm going to have to destroy all the bedrock within this outline. That's over 3 million items worth of pistons that I have to make. But that's not the problem. The problem is that this is the first step, and the build is only going to get larger and larger as we go. And I'm all out of pistons. But considering pistons are made up of 4 pretty common blocks, this shouldn't take too long, right? There's supposed to be a cobblestone farm there. Anyone else just randomly lose farms? Now, you may be wondering, hey, why don't you just bust a smaller hole in the bedrock? Well, my friend, just because you put syrup on something, don't make it pancakes. I can't with these stupid gas that keep blasting holes in the pistons. However, I do have one idea. The risk being, however, that it involves 140 wardens. First things first, I'm gonna need a whole bunch of materials to trap the warden. I need some glass, a couple redstone materials, and weeping vines. What? Finally, we need to locate an ancient city, which is far enough out that nobody will accidentally stumble upon it. And if you haven't guessed already, I'm creating a mob switch, but not just any mob switch, a mob switch that's full of wardens. Oh no. But in order to be able to transport hundreds of withers to the Nether, I need to dig out an area around the Shrieker. And then if I build some portals up here, the wardens should only be able to spawn in the portals and be transported into the Nether side. Basically, I'm gonna be waiting in the Nether, while there's a bot in the overworld standing on top of the Shrieker, constantly activating it. The wardens will spawn and go through the Nether portal, and I'll get trapped on the Nether side, thus filling up the mob cap and allowing no more mobs to spawn. So I guess if the bot goes here, and I just wait, and if this goes wrong, this is gonna be really bad. Oh, they spawn. You can literally see that they are spawning in as I speak. The Shrieker is constantly active and they keep going through the portal. So 1 hour later, let's see how many wardens we have. Oh, what? They're literally dying because there's so many of them in there. And there we go, the entirety of the bedrock roof has been removed. So now we can actually start construction on the perimeter. Now the only way for a world eater to work is for there to be 4 trenches on either side. But thankfully I've brought a little friend with me. And oh no, I didn't mean to send that one off. Look how much of the Nether it's destroying already. Imagine what it's gonna look like when we have an entire fleet of bombing machines destroying it. Yeah, all this lava is gonna be an issue. But I do have a way that I like to get rid of lava. If we just grab some iron from the iron farm, then craft up a whole bunch of buckets, and I should just be able to scoop this lava up. Oh, nope, of course. This might be a little harder than I anticipated. And we haven't even reached a lava level. Oh, what am I ever gonna do? Yep, just gotta fill up all the elytras. Okay, so this lava lake is fairly large. So if I grab some sand and outline it... Okay, this is way too slow. I know you can destroy lava with flying machines. Okay, maybe this'll work. Yeah, look at that go. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to make the rest of this entertaining. It was just me, like, burning in lava half the time, so, it was really painful. Look at this beautiful trench we got here. Now I can finally destroy this bombing machine here and build it up on the other side of the perimeter, because this is not the only trench I need. I need 3 more. And there she goes. I'm in for a lot more pain and suffering, aren't I? Now let me do one of these, like, cool edit things where I stand right here and... Hey, look at that, we got a trench. I wonder how that got there. Okay, so now we need to work on the 2 side trenches, and thankfully, unlike the other ones which needed 15 blocks, these are only 3 blocks wide. And so one of these bombing machines should do the trick. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. I don't want to ever do this again, but we still have another trench. Oh no. And now that is the final trench done. And yes, this one's a little bit messier than the other ones, but all the blocks in this strip have been cleared, and that's all that really matters. So now it's time to build the world. The World Eater. Dude, this thing is chonky. Okay, so for the World Eater, we're looking at a casual 13,000 items. That's actually not too bad. I'm just gonna go watch an episode of The Office, and I'll get him. But here's when we run into the fun part. You see, if I just place down the rail like this and the minecart here for the TNT duping, yeah, that happens. So to fix that, I need to destroy this block here, put the minecart here, power this, break that, put it back, and we're good to go. I forgot the core. There we go. Now, just a bunch more times. The heck? Let's see if this actually works. I really hope it does, but backups have been made. And if I press this button... Oh, it'd be doing stuff. So far, so good. Nothing's gone critically wrong. Oh, yes, docking's gone well. Come on. I think we should be good now. Before moving on, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 40,000 subscribers, and to celebrate that, for every sub this video gets, I will be mining a single diamond. Meaning if 10 of you subscribe, I'll have to mine this many diamonds, and if 64 of you subscribe, I'll be mining 64 diamonds. Now, last video, almost 10,000 people subscribed. Make sure to claim your diamond, and we'll see how many diamonds I have to end up mining. And now as the World Eater gets lower in the world, the machines start getting stuck on things. Now, what does it get stuck on? Ancient debris, and a whole lot of it. TNT, baby! Now, with the perimeter all cleared out, it's looking pretty good. It also looks very bland. Like bedrock, not that interesting. So I need to collect 5 different types of blocks so I can make a super cool looking floor design. Now, believe it or not, one of the perks of playing on a server that's almost 2.5 years long is that we have farms for almost anything. I need basalt, I've got plenty of basalt. So if I just lay out a whole bunch of shulkers and dump a whole bunch of basalt on the ground, I can load it all up and transport it to our super smelter. And there's not much super about this, but we're just gonna ignore that. Maybe a future video. I also need a whole bunch of blackstone, but yeah, we definitely don't have a shortage of this. This makes for a pretty easy craft. And my inventory was filling up, so I dumped everything off at the build site. So we've got blackstone and basalt already checked off. We're making good progress. The next thing I want to get done is red terracotta. Now, again, normally pretty annoying to get. You have to go to a mesa, mine up a whole bunch of terracotta, unless you've already had a machine do that for you. And I would be incredibly surprised if we didn't have any red dye here. Yeah, that should do. This is by far my favorite part of the whole process. Like, look how fast that crafted, jeez. And for the red concrete, if I just head to the end, do I really have to say anymore? We're not running out anytime soon. But at least the wool poses a bit more of a challenge. So I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be our wool farm, but yeah, clearly something's not right. So now the first thing I need to do is dye all the sheep red so I can get red wool. And this should be more than enough red dye. And now I can dye all of them red. So let's just pop a bot here and have him AFK overnight. Yo! For the walls, I'm thinking some gray concrete powder. Now, we have a separate gravity block duper for concrete powder, and I think this might be the portal. No, this one's got sand in it. Oh yeah, no, it's this one, never mind. Now, down here, we have all the different types of concrete powder. So, Stronghold can just chill here, and now before I run it, I'm just making sure there's enough shulkers, and it looks like there are, and now if I turn it on, this thing just looks crazy. Oh yeah, we've got some concrete powder coming through, and it's all getting killed in the cactus. Oh, I think it's this switch right here, though. Yeah, there we go. It's actually getting sorted now. Now, if you look carefully enough, you can kind of see some red concrete powder in there. But all we gotta do is just AFK this thing for a little bit. Alright, let's see how much we got. Yeah, I think this will last us. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't really want to place 500,000 concrete powder. So in order to make a machine that will actually place the blocks for us, I need to get some materials. With observers, repeaters, slime blocks, sticky pistons, and glass needed, I can start actually building up the machine. But let me explain how this works. So basically, one piston can only push a certain amount of blocks. In this case, it's like 11 or 13 or something. So if we create a new piston pusher every couple of blocks, we will be able to push the blocks infinitely. And with a simple mechanism for turning corners, I can decorate the entire perimeter from one block. Wow. Oh no! A piece of soul sand was trapped down there, so all the concrete powder was just breaking as soon as it fell. We're well over halfway now, so it should go pretty quickly. Oh yeah, we've got ourselves a good looking perimeter. This machine's finished up, so I can destroy it now. Alright, I'm not gonna pretend like this is interesting, I just held W key and left click. Now, here is the point in the video where I made a huge mistake. Now, as you can see here, the bottom of the perimeter is clearly not spawn-proof, but I want it spawn-proofed so that only blazes can spawn. So, of course, my genius thought was, oh, let's just put string on the bottom, and then it'll be spawn-proof. So I went over to the bartering farm, grabbed a whole bunch of string, and began placing. Yeah, string doesn't spawn-proof. I found that out way too late. Oh no, guess who just put string all over the entire thing and it doesn't even spawn proof? Yeah, that was me. Now I need to get rid of all this string that I just placed down, but if I grab the spare materials from the block placer, I think I can construct up some flying machines. And now if I launch this, yeah, look at that, it's destroying all the string. So now I've just got a lot of flying machines to make. I am so stupid sometimes. Hey, no more string now. Let's go. So yeah, I do need a whole bunch of glass to cover this now, but I mean, come on, we probably have that somewhere. Oh, here's some, and even more in here. Great, that'll work. So I began covering the entire perimeter floor in glass. Alright, we now have our fully spawn-proofed hole with walls and a tiny little portal in the middle. But I do want to start on the building now because it looks kind of cool. And I've got 52 sandstone. It's not made out of 52 sandstone, so we're going to have to do some material collecting. Alright, so now if we look at the material, 10,000 shroomlights. There is no way I'm collecting that by hand. So here we've supposedly got our shroomlight farm. It's half completed and got lava spilling out the side of it. Who the heck made this? Yeah, it's probably me. Let's get this thing fixed though. Yeah, this thing blew itself up more than once. Alright, so now if I flick this lever and wait for the light to turn on, and now I just gotta plant the trees here, and we're getting tons of trees spawning and blowing up. So this farm is working great now. Ignore this. But in order to create the trees, I need the fungi things, and from around 9 stacks of the fungi, this is all I got for shroomlights. Not the best return on my investment. So, to avoid collecting these for hours, I think a farm is in order. Look at this beauty. Okay, it kind of just looks like a lump of redstone. I understand that. I don't know. Basically, I don't know where the clips went of me explaining this, and I already AFK'd this whole thing, and I've already built the castle at this point. But basically, if this was working, it would send the bone meal from this bone meal farm here along these pipes and into this thing, which would spawn a ton of these guys, which would be fed along this water stream into the machine. So with the shroomlights checked off the list, all the other materials for the castle should be relatively easy. So now it's a good time to get started on the actual castle. And with all the materials collected here, the construction of the castle can begin. I think everything's here at least. I also want to fix this because it does look ugly. But hey, that's a later me problem. Okay, so we've got the castle here, and I think it looks pretty cool, but again, I'm not the best at building. And it's all looking great except for one thing. Some of it's not spawn-proof. So when things want to start spawning, they'll be spawning on the castle, which is not good. Ignore that I've left out the door, it's for demonstrational purposes. Inside here, on all these tops of the windows, like all these shroomlights, mobs will be able to spawn. Also, if we head outside, on top of this roof here, these are full blocks. Now, for the inside of it, I do have some buttons left over, because I spawn-proofed the window sills. See? Buttons. Kinda hard to see. So I think I'm just gonna do the same thing here, where I put the buttons on top of here. Now, the castle is looking pretty good, but it's missing something, specifically here, here, and right here. Because, you know, it's cool, but it's a bit flat. So I've got some ideas of what to put there. And, you know, a couple blaze statues should probably do the trick. Yo, this is looking sick. Now, the real question is it time for the blaze farm in here? Not quite yet. Actually, I still gotta go through here, though. You see, this nether portal right here is gonna take us to the overworld. Now, I always like building the collection systems first, but I also want to do something a little special with this one. Any guesses? It's time for another perimeter. And in order to dig a perimeter on the other side, we have to remove all this space. And, it's all ocean. Water plus TNT doesn't exactly equal success. But thankfully, I've actually got some experience in this type of thing. And to best dig a perimeter in the ocean, we're gonna split it up into a couple steps. Starting off by grabbing a whole load of cobblestone. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some cobblestone and then extend from the bottom of the ocean floor up so it is aligned with this outline. So now we just gotta do this for the entire perimeter. And the reason why this is important is because cobblestone has a pretty high blast resistance, meaning it's not as easily destroyed by TNT. Okay, so now that I have all the trenches marked out of cobblestone, that's just gonna make our life easier down the road. But in order to start blowing this entire area up, this water has to go. And it's a bit big for just sponges. So my plan is to build up some flying machines that just go back and forth, and will clear out all that water. Well, first off, I'm just gonna say these trenches took a lot longer to clear out than I expected. These oceans hold so much water. So now that the water's gone, I can actually start destroying the blocks within the trenches. And I don't actually have to collect many materials, because over here I should still have leftover materials. Bro, why aren't the chunks loaded? Now, all these materials that I'm carrying over right now will be used to build up the bombers. Get some progress going. Yep, I'd say that works pretty well. Alright, so now we have all 4 of the trenches complete. It's looking pretty good. I also built up the world eater, because all these materials we just had laying around. So, let's get started. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. What did I miss? There we go, all good now. Or so I thought. Never mind, everything is not okay. So you see this water thing here? That's not supposed to be there. It should have gotten swept, but I think it's because of the kelp. So I do have to remove all of the kelp. What? That is a lot of kelp. Bro, I just gave this thing a shave. Hopefully we're all good now. Alright, let's get this thing going again. The entire perimeter is now dug out, and we have to get rid of the world eater. TNT, baby! But obviously this thing is looking way too bare. And you know, this is where my absolutely outstanding decorating skills come into play. And for starters, I want to have white concrete walls with a gray terracotta floor. Now to do the walls, I don't want to do them manually, so I'm going to set up machines in 4 corners to automatically place the powder. So let's get to it. And this thing is looking pretty sweet already, but it's definitely a bit empty, so I want to add some more structures around this and a whole centerpiece right here. But first things first, we need to take some attention to the wall, because right now it's concrete powder. I want to transform this all into concrete. Now, last time I did this, I used a whole bunch of water buckets, but I want to try a different method. Now I've got a whole bunch of ice here, and in theory, if I place all this ice along the top, and now we have all the water flowing down the sides and turning all of the concrete powder into concrete. So now just to do this process for the entire... Yeah, I ran out of ice. I'm slightly confused as to what this thing is. Does anybody else know? But now all I gotta do is grab some more white concrete powder and then go around placing it on the top like this, because then it'll destroy the water sources and turn this into concrete, so it's just gonna be 1 block taller. Slowly but surely, it is falling down. And now it's time to get started with the whole centerpiece. So I started outlining the island that's gonna be in the middle. Now, there's going to be a giant island right here that's nether themed, and to make it even cooler, I want to surround it in a lava lake. But this isn't a lava lake. Yeah, I need to get a lot. So the theme I'm going here for is it's kind of like the island spawned in the overworld for some reason. And I want to put caution tape around this thing. Whenever I think of something like this, I always think of the scene from Thor, that kind of vibe. And honestly, the material list for the actual island itself isn't bad at all. It's just like 8 shulkers of netherrack, which we probably already have. And I also want to put some beams on the sides to make it a more industrial feel, which is basically just black concrete. Okay, we're looking pretty good. I think this perimeter is turning out pretty cool. And you'll notice this thing right here, the update suppressor. Now, if you watched my last video, you'd be very familiar with this. But basically, the storage here needs a slice portal right here. So the blazes can spawn in this portal and fall straight down into this killing chamber. Now, if I grab some sign, I don't have any signs. I do have signs. Now, to slice this guy right here, I need to place a whole bunch of signs and connect it to this rail line right here. Like so. So now I turn it on. Do a little clicky action. Ah! So if I mind you, will it work? It works! Yay! Yay. And I just gotta build up the overworld side and we're chilling. Man, this thing is looking crazy. Alright, so it's about time we test this thing now. And sorry if I'm a bit quiet. It's like midnight right now. Alright, so I just gotta go into my alt to start the farm. And we should start to see, oh my gosh. Oh, it's so loud. How many of them are there in there? This thing is just crazy how many blazes can actually fit in that one area. If I go on the other side, this thing works by basically just spamming pistons, as you can see here. And then these pistons will push them along into this portal here. This farm is crazy fast. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.